I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
Bang, guys. Bang, 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 bang. What's good, guys? Die Hard Knicks podcast in the building. Die Hard Eru in the place to be at 1 p.m., guys. What do you guys think about that? So 1 p.m., I think I might start doing this every Monday if I happen to be off. Usually I'm off on Mondays, you know what I'm saying? So take advantage of the time if I'm not doing anything. 1 p.m. Seems like a good time. I know everybody's coming back from lunch. You know, you start lunch at 12. Maybe, come back at 12:30, whatever, you're eating your lunch and stuff like that. Maybe sitting at your desk, getting a little extra lunchtime at 1 p.m. I know how people get down, you know what I'm trying to say? So 1 p.m., you're getting yourself started for the rest of the day. Enjoy Monday podcast with Die Hard Hero, man. So I'll be doing this every Monday if I can, if I'm free, if I'm not doing anything, like I said, I'm typically off from my day job, the job that actually pays money. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually off from there on Mondays, man. So you'll be seeing me at this time frame here. So at least I'll try. So anyway, then and now, man, let's talk about Kristaps, man. Kristaps was drafted for the Knicks and he's playing for the Celtics now. So the reason I'm talking about him is because they're in the finals, fam. And then people are there's a lot of people talking about Kristaps. Oh, the Knicks got fucked up. They didn't they got rid of Kristaps and Kristaps should have been a Knick and we should have built around him and this, that, and the other. I just don't understand, man. That's why we got to talk about it then now. So I mean, just from the visual, looking at Kristaps and Kristaps when he was with the Knicks and Kristaps when he was with the Celtics. Number one, some of those spots in his neck look a little bit bigger. You know what I'm trying to say? He's older, fam. You know what I'm saying? Look at the haircut. Even like the spiky haircut, you can see that he has a receding hairline. So I'm trying to say, these little things like that. Like, look at the spot. There's a spot on his neck that got bigger, as you can see. You know what I'm trying to say? He got older. His hairline is receding. You know what I'm saying? He has a lower buzz cut. He can't rock the spiky look. It doesn't look the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? Look at the facial hair. He couldn't grow facial hair his first time, in the NBA. He was only a kid. He's 18, 19 years old, whatever. And, he couldn't grow facial hair. Now look at him. He has a great beard. You know what I'm saying? Even look at his teeth. You know what I'm saying? His teeth went from pearly whites as a young boy to now like a little bit yellow here as an older guy, drinking Hennessy, and smoking cigars and that type of thing, doing his thing, living his life. You know what I'm saying? And he goes from here to there, man. Even the Knicks jersey, the NBA jerseys in the corner, they didn't have advertisements. Now they have advertisements on each corner. Look, you got this Nike. I think Nike was doing the jersey here at the time also. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember. But now you got Nike prominently put on the was that the right hand side of his jersey, and the left hand side they have a straight advertisement. Vistaprint is there for the Celtics, man. So that's how much has changed in life in the NBA. Since Kristaps was a Knick, man. So that's just on the surface, man. But the Knicks didn't trade him to the Celtics. We didn't give him away to the Celtics. He was on two other teams besides the Knicks before he got to the Celtics. So anyway, let's get into that, man. We'll give you guys something to talk about here as you come back for your lunch break or whatever you guys are doing right now. So check this out, man. Shout out to the New Breed 313 Sports. Shout out to these guys here. Definitely supporters of the culture. Gotta say, Eru said, "What's up, my brother? The hat is fire." Yeah, man. Let's give it up to the hat. If I can make this a little bit bigger, I can't pull it too back, too far because I'm not wearing any pants. You know how I give it up. This hat is from Since New York. I believe that's the name of the company. So as you can see, they have the NY. They have various different hats. So check out their website. I don't have it keyed up, and I'm not advertised by them. But since you asked, man, this is where I got the hat from. As you can see, you got the Puerto Rican flag in the background there. That's the one star with the triangle and the red and white stripes. That's Puerto Rican, the Puerto Rican flag. So I got it with the idea to try to wear it for the Puerto Rican Day Parade and stuff like that. But I bought it on Thursday, I believe. I believe I bought it on Thursday. Yeah, as you know, the festivals is Saturday in New York City. Then on Sunday you have the Puerto Rican Day Parade down Fifth Avenue. So the festival is on 116th Street in Spanish Harlem. That's on the east side of Harlem up there on 116th Street. So but like I said, I bought it on Thursday. I didn't think that it was gonna the hat was gonna come so early. So the hat actually showed up on Friday. So that they actually expedited the shipping to make sure that I had it for the festival. So I didn't even know I had it. My wife didn't even let me know because I work, I work like a savage. So I didn't even know I got the package. Then I checked it on Sunday. Excuse me. Yeah, yes, it was a Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. I got the package on Sunday. So yo, well, how long is? No, I got it on Saturday. Excuse me. So I'm like, how long was this there? Oh, that was there since yesterday. I think since Friday. Since Friday. So shout out to Since New York. Look them up. You can see hats just like this with the NY on it, whatever. They actually expedited the shipping for free to make sure that I had it just in case I want to use it for the festival on Saturday. I think that's awesome. The store I believe is in by Van Cortlandt Park up there that far north. Actually, I think is it by Woodside? Oh, no, not Woodside. What was the other one? Woodlawn. I think it's by Woodlawn, if I'm not mistaken, man. So, if you guys could look it up, and since New York, very good company if they're gonna send hats like this, expedited for free to me, with the frame of mind knowing that you might want it for the weekend. That's incredible, man. So I'm wearing it today to support them. Definitely, shout them out. Say that you heard about it. If you contact them, say you heard it from Dire Knicks podcast. Their products or whatever. I'm gonna look to buy more. Actually, I'm gonna look to go up to the store to let them know how much I appreciate them, man. So definitely a good look there, man. So Puerto Rican Day Parade was Sunday. Shout out to Saturday. Saturday I had to work, man, but I'm Puerto Rican once a year, if you want to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to people that don't understand the culture of New York City. There's like we're mixed with everything, man. And I'm very familiar with everybody's culture. So I celebrate a lot of people's cultures on especially certain days. You want to talk about Jewish holidays, you want to talk about Muslim holidays, things of that nature, West Indian Day holidays, Dominican, Puerto Rican, everything that you can imagine. We all celebrate each other here in New York City, man. So it's definitely hard to grasp that if you don't live in New York. You know what I'm saying? So I am Puerto Rican. My dad is Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? So I am Puerto Rican, but I'm 100% Puerto Rican on this weekend that just passed, man. Saturday and Sunday. With the festival on Saturday and the Puerto Rican Day Parade on Sunday, man. So I thought that was dope. So I definitely giving those guys a shout out, man. But anyway, we're here to talk about Kristaps and stuff. Salute to Crean Grant, the place to be. Much love, much love. He says, I got to go to New York. Never been there. You got to come to New York, man. One day, come to New York and through whatever friends and people that you meet on the internet and stuff like that, you can navigate, see if you can meet up with people and just get the whole just of New York City. You find all kinds of people in New York, man, everywhere from all walks of life, man. We all live together and we all talk the same. We all tell you to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? We invite you to the hot dog stand, all that sort of stuff. Every culture does that, not just one or two. So let me get this up out of here, so we can get started. Just kind of like stalling a little bit to get more people in the chat and stuff while we move on here. But Kristaps, man, just doing a quick Google search there. You just Google Kristaps, and you'll find this Kristaps Porzingis Knicks. You'll see various different pictures of him and stuff like that. Like I already showed you the differences between physically just the hair alone. The facial hair and the receding hairline. Kristaps has some years on him now. So I mean, Kristaps when he first came down, he was like how old was he? Like 18, 19 years old. So now he's 28 years old. He's been in the NBA for a while. He's been in the NBA for almost I guess you want to say 9 years now. This is his ninth season. 7'2", 7'6". Everybody thought that he would have a lot of problems with injuries and stuff, and he has. He has plenty of injuries in his knees, hips, back, ankles and feet, elbows and various different things throughout his career. we'll get into stats and stuff like that, as time goes on, man. But as far as fans, like I said, I mentioned in the beginning, fans were complaining too much about saying that the Knicks, we wish we had Kristaps and Knicks should have never got rid of him. Then they're bringing up old stuff that, and then people like to bring up old stuff but don't have the full information. So then they lie on the Knicks and say what they want to say just to make their own personal narrative work for them. I just think it's garbage, man. But Kristaps was a good player, man. If you click any of these highlight videos and stuff from Kristaps, like he absolutely, he was a monster defensively, blocking shots, shooting threes, driving to the basket, dunking and stuff like that. Basically, the ultimate 3-and-D guy, because you don't need to you don't when you got a guy like Kristaps, you don't run plays for him. You just kind of just let him get his offense through the offense that you're running. He's opportunistic kind of player. So just to say that, he in his first stop in the Wizards, it was not a good stop. They asked him to go one-on-one a lot, which is not his game. Then fast forward to him going to no to yeah, that's with Dallas. As a 1-2 punch with Luca, it didn't work. He was like physically like just like it just didn't work. Just even physically these guys didn't have chemistry with each other. Maybe off the court is one thing. They were like little sneaky conversations and stuff like that when he was with the Knicks, when he played Dallas. But when he actually played with Luca, instantly you could see that the chemistry wasn't there, and it just didn't work. And then physically, Kristaps couldn't stay healthy either. Him going to the Wizards, same thing. They had him over there as a superstar go-to kind of guy, but that's not Kristaps' game. Kristaps scores off of whatever else you got going on for the roster. So with the Wizards, there was nothing else going on for the Wizards, man. So we'll get into the different trades and stuff like that. But him going to Boston, guys, Boston for him, they're probably going to win a championship. Right now, they're up 2-0 against Dallas. I don't know about a sweep because Dallas is a good team too. We'll talk about them, briefly. But the Celtics, for Kristaps to go to the Celtics, to play center for them and the way that the Celtics play, they put up a lot of 3-point shots, man. The guys put up 45 attempts. I believe the last game or the game before that, game 1, I believe, they put up more 3-point shots. They put up like I want to say like 55 to 60% 3-point shots, and compared to their field goals. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're putting up 55% to 60%, and of shots of your shots are 3-point shots, that's incredible. How could you beat a team like that where they're shooting that many threes? So if they're off, you got a chance to beat them. But if they're not even, they don't even have to be off. If they're shooting like 33%, which is like below league average, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna beat you. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sheer volume of shots that they put up, as a team, man. So I just think, them getting Kristaps was the perfect compliment to what they were already doing. Because shout out to Al Horford. Al Horford was in that role as a 3-point shooter, as a center. So he's actually still starting Al Horford. But Al Horford, and now you have Kristaps coming off the bench doing the same thing. But like I said, he's still a drive threat. He's still a defensive threat also on the inside. So he's just an absolute perfect player to have on the Celtics team. So the reason why I'm highlighting him too is just to get Knicks fans thinking about that. What can we do to add to this team, to help us succeed in the things that we already do well. So I'm looking at fans now. They're talking about bringing more superstars to the team and just changing the identity of what we're already doing. Bringing Devin Booker and having Devin Booker and Brunson together as a 2-man front. Fans are in love with OG at the power forward, but missing the fact that that we won this season playing bully ball. You know what I'm saying? We didn't win with OG as a starting power forward. We won. We actually had our best season with him and Julius there, and with him with Julius as a power forward doing what he does. And then OG at the small forward spot being able to guard basically every front court position. When we switch and stuff like that, it looks fantastic. We look like a tough team. So that's what we are. We are a tough team. We don't, in my opinion, I don't feel like we need to get another star and change our identity just to appease the visual. We really need to double down on what we do, because that's what champions do. The Celtics are about to win their first championship with this group, this era here, because they got the final piece, the player that they didn't have to change anything that they do well. All they had to do was add a guy that already fits, already has a playing style that fits what they do. You know what I'm saying? And that was the final piece for them. So I think the Knicks are right there. We just have to get healthy. But if we're going to add a player, in my opinion, I think we need to get a player that fits seamlessly into what we're already doing. not somebody to bring somebody here. Now we have to fit the whole team into what this new player is doing. So that's my whole thesis statement about this particular podcast today. So as we go along here, let's take a look at what Kristaps has done for the Knicks here. For the Knicks, he had averaged 14 points for this his first year. He probably could have gotten rookie of the year that year. Let's see. I want to click out. I want to make sure I don't mess things up here. But the first person was all right, doesn't they don't have it listed here. Oh, it's Karl Anthony Towns. So Karl Anthony Towns did put up a bit bigger numbers than him, man. So, but Kristaps is right there. Kristaps is actually in a winning season, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns won that year, but I didn't look that far, man. But anyway, he earned that. He went from a player that wasn't known to be a player that actually is legit in this NBA the last 9 years and stuff. So the second year, 18 points per game. 18 points, 7 rebounds. The blocks is what really comes out at you with the 2 point blocks there. Most improved player, he almost got that. He was the 12th in that. The third year, the year that he tore his ACL, that's the year that he really came on. At some points of this year, he actually was averaging like 24, even a little bit more than that in the beginning of the year. But he actually topped out at 22 points per game. Rebounding was down 6 point whatever, but 2.4 blocks. So the blocks went up. Same amount of minutes. He only played 32 minutes per game. If you want to get crazy, look at the 36-minute stats. And under Tom Thibodeau, Kristaps probably would play a lot of minutes. So you could just imagine what those stats would be. He will be closer to 10 rebounds per game. He will be closer to like 24, 25 points per game. If Tom Thibodeau was coaching him that year. But anyway, he wasn't coaching him, and he still tore his ACL. He actually missed the whole next season with that torn ACL and stuff. So the Knicks actually traded him to Dallas. So we'll get into Boston in a second. Traded to Dallas, like I said, he only averaged 20, kind of playing that role. But look at the games, 57, 43, 40, 51. The last year with Dallas, he only ended up playing 34 games for them. When he went to Washington that following year, only played 17 games. So just an injury-prone guy, still 20 points per game, for no matter where he goes. But a guy like Kristaps, even if he's in the wrong system, he's still going to get you 20 points because he's 7'2". He moves. He can shoot the three. He brings a special skill set. Like I said, you don't need to run plays for him. He just gets it. He just gets buckets. Just for the simple fact of how freakishly weird of a basketball player that he is. You know what I'm trying to say? So Washington, they started feeding the ball too much, and that's why you see the 23 points per game. But as you can see, 65 games played. He never plays full seasons because the guy's always getting hurt. Shout out to Boston. He only played one season. This is his only season in Boston. So when people talk about Kristaps in Boston, they act like he's been there forever or like they've won forever with Kristaps. This is only his first year there. 57 games, just came off an injury. He didn't even play like the last playoff series. So here he is back with into the finals now. He's a guy that's never healthy. But same points per game, 20 points per game. Rebounds didn't go up. The blocks didn't go down. Nothing went up or down. This is just what he is. But like I said, it's a perfect spot for Kristaps to be in his career. So if you're talking about adding a player here, what are the Knicks gonna do? Just add one player to this roster? Because people get triggered by saying run it back. If the Knicks run it back, we should be able to do well. People get pissed off because other teams are gonna get better and this, that, and the other. The Knicks off the rip, if we just come into the season healthy, we're already better than half the teams, and we already gotten better ourselves because this particular roster that we have together has not played together 100% the entire year. So if we show up to start the season at 100%, that'll be a roster that the Knicks never had together. The entire season like that. So that's number one. Then we have the opportunity via trade to actually improve the roster. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, adding Kristaps. We'll get into the trades in a second. But adding Kristaps wasn't like a backbreaker for the Celtics. They still kept their same front court. They still kept basically the frame of their starting lineup. They just added Kristaps to it, and they still kept the starting center that they had last year in Al Horford. He's still on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So this is how we need to think about it, man. So let me just move this along here. The trade that the Knicks traded when the Knicks traded him to Dallas, it was a big thing. It was like we got fleeced and stuff. But when it comes down to it, Dallas didn't really get the right trade for him. Once we traded them Dallas and it didn't work out, they didn't get good compensation for him. He ended up going to the Wizards. I believe, for nothing, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember, but we don't need to connect those dots. I just want to talk about the trade for Kristaps to Dallas. That trade, as you can see on the screen, is on the screen. We ended up getting DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., and a first round draft pick, which ultimately turned into Keon Johnson. And we also got another draft pick that's going to end up being the number 24 pick in this draft. So we have two picks this year due to this Kristaps trade. So that's how it still connects to what we're doing here now. So that 2024 pick might actually be that final piece to the puzzle if we put it in a package to get a player similar caliber to Kristaps, but fits our needs here with the current 2024-2025 Knicks playoff run here. That's how it goes there. Coming to the Knicks there. So let's take a look at this draft. Like I mentioned before, this is still early in the game. We're still in the playoffs now. So there's certain names here that I don't know who the hell these guys are, to tell you the truth. But I'm taking a look at who they have us drafting. They have us drafting a 6'7" small forward, senior, average 23 points per game for Illinois. Is Terrence Shannon Jr. I'm actually familiar with him because he played 4 years, so I've seen him here and there. Just typical player, man. But when it comes to drafting somebody, if the Knicks even do that, we need to get somebody mature, somebody willing to play right away and contribute immediately. And that's going to be very hard to do under Tom Thibodeau, and especially under the roster that we have. We have a really good roster, so whoever we draft, they more than likely won't even play. Even if they're really good, they still might not even play. So I anticipate some of these guys being traded unless a guy like Zach Edney really drops down to 23. If Zach Edney drops this far, even Kyle Ware, because some other draft sites have both of these guys going up more closer to the lottery, than this far. So Kyle Ware, however you pronounce his name, from Indiana, and Zach Edney, if those guys are fall that low, I think the Knicks need to try to move up to get one of those guys. You know what I'm trying to say? To try to compensate for what I believe needs to be the trade, which is getting rid of Mitchell Robinson. I'll actually talk about that probably on another day. Maybe even tonight if I have time. Well, we'll see. But we're talking about Kristaps today. So this is still the Kristaps trade here, with this 24 pick, man. So like I said, it lives on. Kristaps now, him going to the Celtics. How did he get there? Like I said, it wasn't from Dallas. It was actually from the Wizards. Like I said, Kristaps actually played 2 seasons with the Wizards there. He played half a season, and he's played a season and a half with the Wizards, man. So he has some time there. So how did he get there? Let's take a look at the trade. It's actually a long 3-team trade. The Celtics received Kristaps. They also got a number 25 pick, which is crazy to me, and a 2024 pick, top 4 protector from the Warriors. So they're basically going to get both of those picks. From last year, they got a pick for last year, and then they're going to get a pick this year, from the Warriors. They traded Marcus Smart, which everybody thought was crazy, but then they ended up getting I don't have the roster up here, but they ended up getting a really good point guard anyway. My man Jrue Holiday. They ended up getting him from the Bucks, which is ridiculous too, man. So the Celtics did what they needed to do to win, man, and the Knicks need to do the same thing. The Wizards ended up getting Tyrus Jones, Daniel Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and a number 35 pick in the 23 draft. That's actually a good haul there from the Wizards, for Kristaps. But we're talking about a quote unquote superstar player, right? A guy like Kristaps that the Knicks fans wish that we could have had. But look what the Wizards received. They only got a backup point guard. They got an old man basically going to retire in Danilo Gallinari. They got another guy, a journeyman center, and Mike Muscala, who didn't even play last year, I believe, and then a number 35 pick, which is a high second round pick. So they got a high second round pick and a bunch of bench guys, and a guy that's going to retire, basically a salary dump, for Kristaps. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's somebody out there that's decent like Kristaps that we can add to this roster that fits what we need to do, that fits what the Knicks do. You know what I'm saying? Rather than us getting somebody that we have to fit into what they do. So there's got to be somebody available, along this line that we can add. Some people have been mentioning what's his name, DeRozan from the Bulls. This might be one of those type of things where maybe DeRozan takes the league minimum, not league minimum, the mid-level exemption, I want to say, or maybe there's a trade like this that we can make to send over there to get a guy like DeRozan. that's a conversation for another day. So uh Dallas, Dallas is also in the finals too. So let's talk about how they got here too. They ended up trading for PJ Washington to the Hornets for Grant Williams and Seth Curry. Both players didn't had no interest playing for Dallas. Seth Curry, I believe, already had one stint there, so he didn't want to be there anymore. Grant Williams also was he was a new acquisition, but he didn't fit what they were doing there. He just seems like a knucklehead kind of player. So they went and got somebody that actually fits what they're trying to do, a real power forward, not a small forward, pretending to be a power forward. PJ Washington is a legit power forward in this NBA. Can shoot the three, drive, and this, that, and the other, but just fits much better for them. That's how they're there. They also got a 2027 first round draft pick, which is pretty good. To get Daniel Gafford on Dallas, they traded Rashawn Holmes and a first round draft pick. So they gave up 2024 first round draft pick to get Daniel Gafford. But Holmes is a guy that's been around. He's a good player, but he's been around for a couple of years now that hasn't really done much. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's kind of cool that that you could do that. They traded a future pick with Holmes to get a player that fits their what they're trying to do in their roster there. So PJ Washington is their starting power forward, and Daniel Gafford is their starting center. So they wouldn't be in the finals right now if they didn't get guys that fit their system better. Grant Williams did not fit what they were trying to do, and Rashawn Holmes was not in their plans at all. So look how they got better. Added guys that fit two guys that fit their system in one trade deadline, and that got them to the finals. So that's something that the Knicks could probably figure out too. Try to get some players that fit our mold better than what the guys that are currently here are doing. So that's a conversation for another day also. Let's take a look at the Knicks roster, man. If you want to talk about players that don't really fit, Jacob Toppin, I think he has a lot of promise. I've been talking about him possibly fitting into that bench role coming off the bench. I think that would be awesome if we extend this rotation to 9. He could be that ninth guy, the way that Obi Toppin was, his older brother. But maybe Jacob Toppin fits a little bit better. I think he will, due to his length, his ability to defend and actually create his own shot and hit the corner three also too. This guy can do it all. But I just think that he would be a better fit for the Knicks and where his skill set is there. So I'm looking forward to see if he's going to be able to contribute like that. A guy like Dwayne Washington Jr., he's not in the plans, man. So I don't know why they keep holding on to this guy, man. Hopefully he can make a roster somewhere. If the Knicks have injuries, this is a guy that I would like to hold on to fill in the spot because I think he can do that. But currently, right now, we have Miles McBride doing that for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So if like I said, I believe in Dwayne Washington Jr. to the effect that if we traded Deuce, I think that Dwayne Washington could fit into that spot to possibly be that guy to fill in if we have injuries down the line and stuff like that. Josh Hart, I think Josh Hart is a bench guy. He played really well for us as a starter, but him coming off the bench with the way that he plays, if you have Julius and OG as a starters, I think that's fantastic. With the way that Josh Hart plays, Charlie Brown is a waste. I don't know why he's with the Knicks, man. They gave him a two-way contract. I think he's like just more like a moral kind of guy, a locker room presence type of thing. But he's never played. He never played at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Any meaningful minutes in the NBA. So I don't know if he's going to stick around. You're talking about Precious. Precious will be dope if we can keep him. He's kind of like the cheat code to have a guy that good to be a spot starter, that type of thing. If guys get hurt, Precious is good to have around. Guy like Daquan Jeffries is another guy. Like, why do we keep bringing him to the roster? He's basically a practice player, so maybe that's the reason why that he's been around. Just have a guy that's a tough defender, somebody that's that can help out practice wise. But we kind of need to get off of guys like this, man. We need to improve this roster. Shout out to Shake Milton. Shake Milton could fit that role as a practice player if you want to do that. But a guy like Jaquan Jeffries, man, I think we need to move off of guys like that and move up the ladder. Shake Milton, if you want to keep a guy like that, I would rather keep him, on the roster because at least if need be, Shake Milton can actually be placed in the game and contribute if we had injuries and stuff like that. Alec Burks, also Shake Milton should be taking Alec Burks minutes because Alec Burks could still probably get $10 million a game in a year, if we keep him on the roster. So I'd rather just keep Shake Milton for the same reason that I'm talking about Jaquan Jeffries. Just get rid of Jaquan Jeffries and Burks, and if you want to have that guy, let it be Shake Milton. And then, like I said, I really believe in Dwayne Washington Jr. So keep those two guys around. for that purpose. But get rid of some of these other dead weight players. Here's another guy, Mamadi Diake. Is he going to do anything for us? And I know he's a young guy to keep around, but why do we keep bringing him up if we're never going to let him play? Like I said, practice guy. He's basically a practice player. Mitchell Robinson, you guys know how I feel about him. I think he belongs in a trade. Put him in the trade along with Deuce McBride. You know what I'm saying? And add those draft picks to that. People have also been talking about a Bogey. Bogey can get you 20 points per game. An elite shooter in the NBA, but he doesn't play defense. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really fit perfectly for what we're trying to do. So let's get somebody in here that will fit that spot perfectly. And I think if we trade Mitchell Robinson along with Deuce McBride, and two first round draft picks, I think we should be able to get somebody really good. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody along the lines of Kristaps. And like just to remind you guys, the trade that we traded, that Dallas traded, the Wizards traded for Kristaps. Like I said, there's only Tyrese Jones, Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and a second round draft pick. That's what they got for Kristaps. So if that was the case, then we should be able to get a decent player for the guys that I mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Jericho Sims is another guy. Why do we have him around? As a third string center, he's not good enough to fill in minutes. So we need to get somebody in here that if need be, that we can throw him in there, and we're going to need him. The way that Hartenstein plays, he's going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get somebody in here. I would prefer somebody with some experience. So if we could squeeze out some of these guys that's been in the league, that had some experience, winning and stuff like that in this league, if we can add somebody tough to the backup 5 spot, and then possibly draft somebody coming in to be that third string, I would prefer that. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of Jericho Sims if he's not going to be in the plans. So anyway, just talking about Kristaps and stuff, we have a way to get better. We absolutely have a way to get better, and in order to do that, we have to be creative, and we have to look at what these other teams are doing, not be envious of teams like the Celtics and stuff like that, how they keep getting better, keep getting more players. We have to understand how they got these players and how we can add that mindset to make us better. My thing is like to go for Donovan Mitchell and trade everybody. That's not the thing. If you're going to trade Mitchell Robinson with Bogey and Miles McBride and 2 draft picks and stuff like that, and trade them to get a Donovan Mitchell, then that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But if you have to think along the lines of how we can get better at doing what we're already doing. You know what I'm saying? Do we necessarily need a shot creator next to Brunson? If Brunson's the main guy, are we gonna take the ball out of Brunson's hands? Is that what we want to do? To make him shoot less? Is that the answer, and make somebody else shoot more? Like, what are we talking about? Because that's what Devin Booker would do. Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell, they're gonna take the ball out of Brunson's hands, and they're gonna be scoring and shooting and doing what Brunson was doing. So does that negate what Brunson does? So we have to be careful of what we're asking for here. Also, too, if we're gonna have OG and Josh Hart as the forwards here, if we're gonna have those guys as the forwards, that's gonna tax OG. OG's always injury prone, and then also you're asking Josh Hart to risk his life every night, getting 15 rebounds when he really shouldn't be getting that, as a guy that's really a natural shooting guard, and you got him playing small forward, but really power forward. You know what I'm saying? You're asking him to do a lot, in the prime of his career. You know what I'm saying? So I like the idea of having Julius. I think you gotta keep Julius here. You gotta have OG next to Julius. And then if OG gets hurt, then you throw Josh Hart into starting small forward. And I think we'll be fine with that. And then, like I said, then you can go to other guys like Jacob Toppin and possibly whoever else we can add to the team, via mid-level exemptions and that type of thing, to make the roster better. Because like I said, guys like Charlie Brown are not going to cut it anymore. Guys like Daquan Jeffries is not going to cut it anymore. Like I said, I really believe in Dwayne Washington. That's just me. So I like to have him around. A guy like Shake Milton, I wouldn't mind keeping around too. But guys like Alec Burks and all this other stuff, these guys are not going to cut it anymore. We need to improve this roster. And I just think we're right there. I think we're so close to getting to the finals that you guys don't even realize that. Because like I said, this is the final piece for Boston. This is Kristaps' first year in Boston. This is their final piece. They probably will get their championship. So what is our final piece? That's my question to you guys. What's our final piece, to make this team better? Are we more concerned with keeping Mitchell Robinson just because we like him? Just because he's somebody that he reminds us of somebody? Or we just have a thought process in our mind that we keep saying, "Oh, league's best rebounder, best field goal percentage." You know what I'm saying? They could defend 5 positions, shot blocker. Are we going to keep saying those type of things, or are we going to say that he's a mediocre shot blocker? He's not available. You're always hurt. A horrible free throw shooter. Cannot score on the inside at all. You know what I'm saying? Outside of a dunk. So are we going to say those things? Are we going to say things that's going to make that this that we do well, and how can we improve what we do well? Or are we going to keep calling them players just because we like them a lot? You know what I'm saying? So that's what we need to do, in my opinion, in order to get us to the next level. So anyway, I've been talking a lot here, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I just want to say what's up to anybody that popped up in here. Shout out to Korean Grant, who's also a member. Also, he just became a member. He said he's tired of hearing about these superstars that are not even available to us. Yeah, man. Some guys like Katina Mobley. Not like I don't know why I'm talking about Katina Mobley, but Katina Mobley, same thing. That's why I said that. But anyway, Karl Anthony Towns. Why are we talking about him? He's a pussy. He's not a leader. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He doesn't fit the bully ball, persona that we're trying to have there. You know what I'm saying? Especially him interviewing. I don't want to see him talking like that. Like that he talks when he interviews. That's not what we're building here. We're building strong-minded, like guys that are not egomaniacs, guys that are locked into games and trying to win. Trying to play that hard defense. Guys that are available, that are not always hurt randomly. Like Julius Randle got hurt, but he dislocated his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? That's a random injury. A dislocation of your shoulder is random. This guy Cat is always hurt for just random injuries here and there. You know what I'm saying? So he's just not available. He's just not the guy that we need. And he's a center. So if we bring him here, that changes the dynamic. Now, do you keep Hartenstein? It just trickle down and gives us problems that we don't need. We're adding problems to us by making these trades. We're changing the identity of our team. So we got to be very careful with that, in my opinion, So I'm scrolling up here. I see Vinny Vegas in the place. He's just saying, what's up? New Breed Sports also added, he said, we can't have the starters playing 45 minutes a night. Yeah, it's like we can't do that. In the playoffs, it's different. You do what you got to do. But we have to clean up that roster. And I just think that running it back, like I said, it triggers a lot of people. Running it back, having Julius and OG with Josh off the bench and possibly making a trade to get another guy, or maybe just signing Precious, having those guys that allows you to have that leeway, where guys don't have to play 40-something minutes. Julius can now get back into playing 35 minutes per game. OG can get into playing 35 minutes per game, 32 to 35 minutes per game. Then you save room for Josh Hart to get his possible 35 minutes per game off the bench. Precious will still get it in, between power forward and center. So you see what I'm trying to say? Those minutes will still be there. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart also can get minutes at guard also at the shooting guard spot. You know what I'm saying? So the minutes will be there and whatever, but we can keep them low. You don't have to get them to 45 anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion there. So as far as Deuce is also on a good contract. He's a good player. Deuce is on a good player, but where is Deuce as far as his trajectory? So I mean, once upon a time, John Starks was there. John Starks was that guy that was up and coming. All of a sudden, he had a really good year, really good playoff run, and then he becomes a starting shooting guard for the Knicks. So are the Knicks there yet? We're willing to trade Dante in a trade to push Deuce McBride into that spot, to cheat in order to get the cheaper contract there and get off of Dante just to save some money. Is Deuce that good? Because I mean, we can also do that also. We can upgrade Deuce to that starting spot. Hopefully that he can give us that 15 points per game that we're looking for, and then maybe even throw Dante DiVincenzo in the trade. That's still on the table, in my opinion. It's on the table, to make the Knicks better. You know what I'm saying? So little things like that are still there to talk about to make these Knicks better, man. So that's why we're here in the offseason, man. So like I said, these little things like that, I'll try to talk about from time to time just to keep the conversations going and stuff. Sims, I think, is a waste. Shout out to Visions here. Yeah, Sims, I think we're just wasting our time with this guy. We need to get somebody in here that does what we think Sims should be doing. Like Sims can actually finish on the inside. He can score a little bit. He can rebound. He's athletic. He run the floor. Sims also been able to guard guys out on the perimeter last year. He showed that, and also he can drop hammers on guys. But he really doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know that he can do all that stuff, even though he's been under Tom Thibodeau his entire career. He still doesn't really know what he can do. So let's get somebody in there that knows that he can do that, knows that he can score a little bit, knows that he can hit the jump shot a little bit, knows that he can rebound, knows that he could defend, and knows that he could drop the hammer down on players when need be. You know what I'm saying? We need to get somebody that really could do that. So you know what I'm saying? So let's keep an eye out for that. Scroll down. Yeah, man. Kareem Grant saying the same thing. Just wish that this guy was had it. Emotion, desire to play. All those things are in question with a guy like that, man. So shout out to Harlem CO, one of my favorites, man. He says, how about wow, man, Rokas Jokobitis? He's there too. So, like I said, just mentioning his name alone, I'm throwing Deuce McBride in the trade no all day, every day. Because we already have somebody else that we could pull from the farm to put into a spot. You know what I'm saying? But even if we don't do that, I like the idea of having Rokas in there in an opportunistic role where like let's say once we get it going, if he can contribute, then we could throw him out there. What I'm trying to say. So if I'm hoping that Rokas, because I mean Rokas has not played in the NBA yet, but he's been playing high level basketball, overseas and stuff with Lithuania, especially in FIBA play. So if Rokas is ready to play, right now they want him to play in the summer league, but if Lithuania makes the FIBA games, then he'll be playing in FIBA with the Olympics, with Lithuania. I would rather see him play there because the competition will be like him playing in the NBA. So that will really be able to show us what he can do and stuff. So I think that's a name right now that's super hot, and I think that he can possibly be that guy, that Deuce is right now, for us just to cheat, because we have to figure out a way to cheat without messing up what we have going on. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's all interesting, man. Shout out to Bobby Santiago. So since he popped in the chat, man, we gotta wish him a happy matrimony, man. He just got married to his lady. I believe was it last weekend or the weekend before? I can't remember. I'm getting old, man, but I think it was last weekend he got married, man. So shout out to him. He's in his newlywed phase right now. He's on his honeymoon with his wife and stuff like that, man. So definitely shout out to Bobby Santiago for for getting married and stuff like that, man. There was nobody there to tell you not to do it. Anyway, being married is great, man. I love my wife and stuff like that. So I hope you guys have a long, fun, just great run, being married together, man. So shout out to Space Ghost, run it back and maybe get one more score for the bench. There you go. Because I think we have a solid starting lineup, man, with Julius OG. You're talking about Hartenstein now with Brunson and DiVincenzo. That's a great starting lineup. So the problem is we need that bench scoring and stuff like that. We need more experience and we need more strength and bop coming off the bench, man. So, get that second guy coming off the bench. Maybe it could be a center. It might be it might be a shooting guard, maybe go for Donovan Mitchell or somebody like that. It's possible to get some of those guys. And there's also other small forward types and stuff like that we can possibly get on this roster too. Mikal Bridges, comes to mind. But it doesn't have to be them. It can be somebody along those lines, somebody that can get you 20 points per game, 15 to 20 points per game, and be a starter in the NBA. We have enough firepower to get a guy like that coming off the bench. We actually have enough firepower to get a guy that can get you 20 to 25 per game. You know what I'm saying? But without messing up the integrity of the team and what we do well. That I think that's so important, man. Harlem CO is also saying that Hurley staying at UConn, which he should. Me and Harlem was talking about that offline, in the chat and stuff, man. So I'm glad that he stayed, man, because I think him going to the Lakers was not a good idea. There's going to be better opportunities for him going forward, and I think going to LA would have destroyed his career. It probably would have broke him, spiritually too. I don't think that would have been a good idea for a player, for a coach like Hurley. He needs to go to he could coach pro, but just going to the Lakers was not a good idea. So I think he'll get more opportunities going forward. Shout out to Jay Wright. Jay Wright. I think he might be the next head coach of the Knicks. We'll see what happens. Vision says Dante's not going nowhere. I'm probably, I'm probably not. Nobody that went to Villanova on the Knicks right now is not going anywhere. Sims is basically an android, man. He might have a chip in his head. I don't know what's going on with him. But Space Ghost says salute to the diehard family, no doubt about that. Salute to Bobby Santiago, also, man. Once again for getting married. So definitely congratulations. But yeah, man, we up out of here. This is a midday podcast. Like I said, every Monday I'll be doing this, man. 1:00 seems like a good time for me. So sometime on Mondays in midday I'll be dropping a pod. I got another idea for a pod that I'll probably do tonight at 8. So we'll see what happens. But I'm more than likely going to do that tonight at 8:00 to run another quick 45-minute pod, to run down another thought that I have, man. But Throughout the week also, man, tune in for the Die Knicks podcast. I'm going to be trying to fill up the schedule with various different things. Also Friday, Friday, I'm thinking about doing something too, man. So we'll see what happens. Die Hard Knicks is in the place to be. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I always do on the show, man. Put 4 fingers to the forehead, tuck in the thumb. Salute to Since NY. Since NY, they hooked me up with this hat. I mean, I paid for it. You know what I'm saying? But they hooked me up with expedited shipping for free without even telling me that it was the thought of them doing that is excellent. So, like I said, I'm gonna see if I can make a visit up to their store, and verbally thank those guys for doing that to me. I don't even know if they meant to do it, but I feel like they did. So I'm gonna go up there and show my love to them in their brick and mortar store since New York. With the Puerto Rican Day hat. I paid my money for it, man. It's not free. It's not advertisement. It's just me showing love, man. So anyway, I'm up out of here, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your lunch if you're eating it. And I'll catch you guys probably tonight at 8 o'clock, man. So this your boy, Die Hard Eru. Be up out of here. Let's do the Die Hard Knicks theme song. Where is it at? Shout out to Trav B. Ryan. Bang. See you guys later.
Eru, I see you. Die Hard. Trav. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name, and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gon' murder that.